Marla Gordon, North State Street. It's a beautiful layout. I like it, but I just get this feeling I have a lot of unanswered questions, such as parking garage. Is it going to be municipality charged? Luckily, I'm beneficial. I can walk to town, but is somebody driving in from outside of town going to want to park and pay in a parking garage to go get a cup of coffee? I mean, that's, and parking is an issue even down my end of town now. So that's my concerns. I think it's a beautiful project. I totally agree something needs to be done, but there's a lot of fine answers, and I think, like you said, before any approval can be given, we need to, as residents, need to know these answers.
Kathy's husband, Larry, the one who liked the Button Lady's house, and we still managed to stay married for 30 years, past that date or more. And I just wanted to say, I am an architect, and I actually do hospitals internationally and domestically, and I'm familiar with the process. And I think the comments that Mike and Julia made were very appropriate and well placed. That in my experience with a sketch plan, you're going to see a lot of changes because the details have not been worked out yet. And in the hospitals that I've done, many times they start out looking like one thing and they end up looking very, very different by the time it's all over. And there's a lot of input that has to go into it. It's a process which is normal to the profession. And I think that, some of the concerns about the parking and the traffic, a parking garage in Newtown, in all the years I've lived here, and it's been about 33 years, I've always thought that Newtown could use a parking garage. And the idea of putting it where Alan and Bob are proposing to put it is a very, very good location from the point of view of sight lines, because it's going to be down a hill, a large part of it, and when the details and sections are worked out looking through it, you're not going to see that much of it from any of the public spaces. Probably the only one will be from Sycamore Street. So, I really think all of this is, it's a wonderful opportunity for the borough to take something that those of us who live very close to that site have always wanted to see happen, and turn it into something really, really useful and a jewel for this community. So I wholeheartedly support it. I think it's time to go forward with it because the details will work themselves out. The Planning Commission will have plenty of say as to what gets done, and I'm sure there'll be many more public meetings like this one where people's concerns about the mix can be discussed and the revenues and the whole 9 yards. So I'm totally in favor of the project.
Joe Swerk, Norwood Avenue, Newtown Borough. I had the honor and privilege of sitting where you folks are sitting now about 20 years ago. Man, am I glad I don't have to make these decisions. I feel really good. There's a time I didn't feel good about you guys, but I feel really good about where your heads are at right now. Your comment, your visioning, just the way you're looking at this project just does it for me, and I thank you for that. Thank you. My only concern and worry is that Mr. Smith presented a project not too long ago for the Acme. Now, I had no input to that, but it looked like a pretty doggone good project to me. It was a project that didn't need any relief. It's a project that could have gone in there, and for whatever reason, I still don't understand it, it didn't get done. We're still looking at the Acme. And I don't think any of us want to look at Blacktop in 10 years. I feel really good that we're not going to do that. You guys are going to push it forward, work with what we have, with a top-notch guy that can, this isn't what we're going to have. It's not going to look anything like that. But we're going to work it out, and it's going to be a project that that guy right there is going to be proud of. I'm proud of you.
My name is Eric Johnson. I live at 242 South State Street. I also own 238 South State Street. For those of you who don't know where that is, I'm the only person that touches the Stockburger property and lives there. I was born and raised there. I've lived in Newtown for 66 years. When the Stockburgers were there, they were great neighbors. I never had a problem with George. It was a car dealership. That's what was there. There was a tremendous amount of traffic in and out of that car dealership. Probably about as much as what you're going to have if this project goes through now. And I don't remember that many accidents down there. Mr. Smith did a beautiful project down at the Lavelle Aircraft site. When I was a kid, it was a factory. Now it's a beautiful site. The people that work there walk up to Newtown. They buy sandwiches. They spend their money in town. I see it every day. I think we, again, as Joe said, we have a great borough council. We have a good planning commission. We have a good hard board. We have people that are going to look this over and they're going to scrutinize it. They'll figure out where the salt's going to come from. They'll figure out how the tax base is going to be taken care of. I, too, sat on the Borough Council for 5 years. I was on the Planning Commission and almost every other commission in this town. I heartily embrace this project. Does it have to be the exact one that we see up there right now? No. Does it have to be as dense as it is? No. Something's going to go there. And I sure hope it's done by Mr. Smith because I know him. I trust him. And I don't want to see somebody from Philadelphia come up here. And somebody's going to build there, folks. I don't care what you say. It's going to get developed. So why not have somebody that can do it right?
Memorial Day, I swear. I too trusted Mr. Smith 2 years ago, and I kind of liked what I saw. And I spoke last month pretty much to this subject, so I won't drone on. But is there any way you can put up that picture of where Center Avenue?
I'm just learning how to do this.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Tell me which one.
Keep going. There it is.
Oh,
That one right there. No, there you
well,
go, right
look,
there.
if you go between
That's
these
perfect.
two, you can do that.
Oh, excellent. I don't want to mess with that. This picture here shows very few cars. Anybody who's been at 7th Avenue any time of the day looking up that hill, you're looking at a lot of red lights, actually, going all the way up the hill. We've got a major traffic issue right now. And actually, as we're standing here, we're kind of looking at a vision, probably 5 in the morning on the 20th of June, with that light kind of traffic. But I'll say the bridge where we would be standing is a historic structure. I'm not sure if this road can be wide, as it shows here, can look this way, and can actually handle this kind of traffic that we're going to put into this project. It's disingenuous of Mr. Smith to claim that the traffic study prompted a change of plan from the mix of business and residential. Certainly, as a member of the Traffic Committee, I'll say that we did not support a further intensifying of this project, and I don't see any relief from adding 300 homes on top of the development in this 9 acres. So I'm sorry, I cannot support what I see as a deeply flawed project right now. I'm not saying that I will never support it, because again, 2 years ago, you had me, but you lost me now. Hopefully we can change this, de-intensify this. It's 9 acres, it's not that much. We don't need a third more of Newtown sitting in 9 acres.
I just want to know two things. I know it's, 300 units. We're not proposing 300 units. You said if we have more office, you have less residential. So that's one point I like to make. The other thing is, that's an actual photograph. That's not a rendering. That's the same photograph.
5 in the morning.
A lot of people in the parking lot at 5 in the morning.
Hi, I'm Betsy King. I live at 242 South Chancellor Street, and I grew up in Newtown. Actually, I grew up next to Alan Smith, so I do have very fond feelings for Alan as a neighbor and out for our best interest, and have seen some of the projects that he's developed in town and feel fully confident that he could do a good job. I do want to point out, though, I think it is very important to develop this area, but I am very concerned about the intensity. I'm concerned about the current traffic and parking in Newtown, and how the traffic, just coming into town at any given day, any given hour, the backups. I also think about the future, and Mike, what you were saying about, we should be looking to the future. Well, I remember in the 1960s when my dad was part of developing the bypass, and how that was just the most phenomenal thing since sliced bread, and it was going to solve all the problems of Newtown, and they really felt that from a future perspective it would really help. And now look at it. It's, the bypass is incredibly, it's just so crowded now, and there's so many issues, and it can't be expanded. So I just want us to think very carefully about maintaining the integrity of the borough, thinking about the space, and drawing the proper perspective for our borough. Thank you.